DJ Holy Foe. Yo.
You're locked into Point 5 Creative Studios, where Africa's stories aren't just told, they're produced. News, politics, entertainment films that move the continent. We bring the truth, the fire, the creativity. Your world, powered by African storytelling. Point 5 Creative Studios. Point 5 Creative Studios. Point 5 Creative Studios. Point 5 Creative Studios. Point 5 Creative Studios.
And he's gonna come up with a new direction in his life. We were not called to a meeting of the leadership to get an explanation from him, as is the norm in any democratic institution. What we are aware of is that he said that the party has been infiltrated, and that as the head priest, he was going to run away from the demons that had infected the shrine. And when the prayers of the head priest can no longer cleanse the shrine, it becomes a sense of worry. But we are where we are, where the head priest has left the shrine because he claimed there's a claim that they are demons, they are infiltrated. But that's what politics is about. ZANU-PF infiltrates, you infiltrate back, and you should be able to fight against it. And we cannot follow.
It happens all over the world.
It happens all over the world, and we also need to have an eye-to-eye, man-to-man, an eyeball meeting with our president to understand exactly what is his thought process. Did he write that letter in his own hand? Was he blackmailed? Is he being extorted? What is exactly is happening? This is Africa. You cannot go by somebody not being able to have an interaction with the people. We have lawyers in Triple C, we have doctors in Triple C. We need to have a face-to-face interaction with the person, and there are many reasons why letters of that nature can be written. You need to be sure that was it written in his own hand. What are the things that are pressing in the mind of the person? And you can only do that if you are able to have an interactive meeting at an appropriate level with the leader of the movement. This is unprecedented and very difficult to be able to rationalize, no matter how people want to chorus around it, how you want to scream about it, how you want to repeat about it. It's a difficult proposition to be able to move towards. Whatever our then president is going through, it is in our prayers, is in everyone's prayers. We are at a loss as to what's happening, and we do hope that at some point there will be an ability to eyeball one's colleagues and be able to explain and be able to persuade in a rational manner, in a democratic manner, the essence of where we are going, where he is going, and why it needs to be done in the particular manner that he has done. As for now, I think at this point in time, we had office bearers, we are parliamentarians, and you can see in the attempt for some of them, others have resigned, others quickly U-turn and want to take leadership position, albeit illegally in parliament. It is so contradictory, so confusing to the ordinary person, and we owe it. We are officers of the court. We go and represent clients. You know, it's like somebody divorcing a wife and then insisting that the person remarries, but before the person remarries, you come back to give babies, and then saying you are divorcing, and then the persons who are saying they are divorcing you the moment you are going to sit at the issue of the divorce, you find they are having another baby. We at some point we carry the hopes of the people, And at some point, we have to operate in a formulaic manner, a democratic manner, consultative manner, a deliberate manner. We must have minutes. An opposition is an institution of record. We must have the numbers of the minutes, a proposition, a counter proposition, a voting and a counter voting. It is the way it should be. It is the way we thought we were going to be holding our processes. However, we are where we are, and we believe that at some point we need to draw a line, be able to stop and say, okay, comrades and fellow Democrats, what are we doing? A burial society has minutes. A woman's club in Etamarounds has minutes, procedures, constitutions, and previous decisions, and it can't just change its name while you are expecting to receive your round of money. Everything has a process and a procedure, and we need to calm down, be able to be deliberate about our processes, and be able to move on in a clear manner. If people are not persuaded by rationality, democratic methods, and so forth and so forth, it is their right. It is their right. But we owe it to the people to be able to give an alternative voice, and also be able to carry the democratization of Zimbabwe in a manner that allows us to be able to take over from ZANU-PF and go in a direction that brings prosperity to the nation.
Do you think the opposition in Zimbabwe can remove this kind of opposition in Zimbabwe, where we see people thinking this is a child's play, we hear of fighting? Now already after the new thing, the interim which is there, we're already seeing people like Mhlanga and all those people. Do you think you are the people to bring change to Zimbabwe? Does ZANU-PF have a challenge in this country, or definitely there's no opposition?
The opposition in Zimbabwe is attacked because it is the closest to taking state power from an Estoa revolutionary movement. In all the countries that he had to take and use arms to win their independence, and that had parties, nationalistic parties that had armed wings, we are the closest to be able to abstain.